Hello and welcome to the Pro Detailer Magazine podcast. We are joined today by another celebrity guest, this time no less than Mr. John of Hull.
Hello, guys.
How are we doing today, John?
I'm good, thank you.
A little background. Obviously, everybody listening knows who John is, but for those imbeciles who don't, he is, he was Mr. Detailing World, co-founder, and ran it for many, many years. And we will, of course, be talking about that and where that's going. He is also Mr. Clean and Shiny.
Yep.
Which is a multi-brand reseller based in Aldershot.
That's right, Aldershot.
Aldershot.
It's a polite area.
I thought you were kind of Ash Vale, a bit posher. But
No, it's Aldershot.
It's Aldershot.
Not everyone pronounces it Aldershot.
Oh, I can see, yes. Aldershot.
There's an alternative spelling.
Yeah, I can't see that at all. And also many other claims to fame, not least 1/3 of Waxstock, Europe's biggest detailing show, possibly the world's biggest detailing show. We talked about PJ with us.
Dedicated detailing show, yeah.
Dedicated,
absolutely.
exactly. That's the difference, isn't it? Is that a lot of car shows got a little bit of detailing, but this is all detailing with some cars.
With nothing else.
Yeah.
There's no wheels, there's no brakes, no suspension.
Tragically. Oh, we ought to invite Brembo at some point, just so we can touch him.
Speak to Dom.
I like a big Brembo. Yeah, I know Dom's quite keen on
Brembo, if you're listening, contact Dom Colbeck.
No, contact me first. All right, we'll have a finder's fee, and it involves 6 pots. We have got lots of exciting things to talk about. But first, I just wanted to have a sort of a bit of a chin wag, which John is ever so easy because he's a chatty man.
Okay.
Speaking of chatty men, Ian is also with us.
Hello.
Hiding in the background.
It's done.
That's a credit. Check time. But over the last couple of years, it's been a real giggle because obviously we've had, what was it again? I can't remember, some virus or something. Anyway.
Something.
Yeah, and...
Miller virus? Miller-like virus?
I don't know. I thought I had the clap at one point. But
You probably did.
You have the slow clap.
The slow clap, that's ever present. But, John, you caught it. And
I did.
It didn't go well. And this was before we all had the vaccines and the cleverness.
It was early on.
It was early days.
Early adopter.
Yeah.
Pre-Delta.
Got it out of the way.
Yeah.
It nearly got me out of the way.
It nearly got you out of the way. Oh, yeah.
Really hipster about it. Had it before it was cool, you know.
Yeah. That's.
So just as a walk-in, you got it and you kind of coped at home for quite a while, and then it was a secondary lung infection of some
I had secondary pneumonia.
so second-hand pneumonia.
Yeah, apparently.
Yeah.
So I caught COVID, and then started with the cough that just wouldn't stop. From the minute I woke up to the minute I went to bed. Spoke to 111 or whatever it is, and they got me onto some antibiotics that did nothing.
Right.
And at this point, I was still going to work, working, struggling.
Spreading.
Yeah, well, no, I don't know. You spread pneumonia? 'Cause that's what it was. It was at that point. It was pneumonia. It was about 2 or 3 weeks after the.
Do you do any touching with your colleagues? I mean,
not intentionally.
Not intentionally.
No
tongue action.
It's not like here.
Yeah.
It's been interesting.
Oh yeah, no,
morning.
yeah.
Interesting morning so far.
Yes, it's been all cuddles and cuddles and we don't want to go too far too early.
No, exactly. Don't peak too soon.
I'm not going to use the penetration word.
So yeah, I had I got this secondary pneumonia, and in the end, I couldn't walk more than 3 or 4 steps, which after the COVID ended up in hospital, 6 litres of fluid on one of my lungs, and was there for a week. And after that, it took about 6 months to get over the COVID and pneumonia experience, to be back to being normal. So it was like November 2020. What most people class as normal. My normal, yeah.
You're normal, yeah.
Well, you said you tried to wash your car after
that's
10 days.
That's right, yeah. After 10 days after coming out of hospital, being the guy I am,
That
I was
was
like,
your priority.
yeah, I needed to wash the M3. So I literally went to work, and the guys at work had told me not to come in. They said, look, we've got this, And
Did they phrase it like that or just say bugger off? Or?
No, they were literally like, we've got this, don't come to work. Yeah, shout out to Dave Watson.
Yeah.
Anyway, I went in, I tried to wash the car, got halfway down one side, had to stop and had to get assistance to finish the car because I was just absolutely wasted. Even 10 days after coming out of hospital and sitting in hospital doing nothing apart from having a valve turned to take a litre of fluid out every day.
Blimey.
Yeah.
So you had like a long-term...
Yeah, so I had they 18 minutes after I got into hospital, I had doctors around me. They cut me open, put a tube in. And the minute they put the tube in...
And you let them?
Yeah, well, I didn't have much choice. I thought it was better than what was going to happen. So they put
Yeah.
the tube in, and I literally stopped coughing as soon as they got the tube and the drain in and turned it on. And I was like,
Could you actually feel it?
yeah, when it
it
went
goes
in,
down?
when it went in, it was hurting, burning in as they were, because it's like they felt like they were putting a hose pipe in me, but really it was tiny.
You have a hose lock on the side
Yeah,
of you.
it
was
well,
about
it
to
did.
say,
It had a.
Well, if you stood up, you could still use a Kranzel because it's gravity fed. What colour was the stuff that came out? Random
Orange.
question. Orange.
orange. Yeah, I've got some photos.
Cool. Okay. Well,
You want me to share?
yeah. Well, not. This is a podcast, so it doesn't really work in that
Afterwards.
regard. But yeah, no. Afterwards, we'll put it on social media for everyone.
Password.
That'd be good.
I don't think everyone wants to see that.
Oh, I don't know. I've got friends.
So yeah, that was that.
That's yeah. So well, so we're very lucky to have you here. You obviously didn't die.
They told me 2 weeks. If I'd left it another 2 weeks, then I wouldn't be here today.
be in a body bag.
They reckon that I would have. Yeah.
That would have been a crap interview, to be fair.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if the gas is built up. If we put like a little kazoo
Let's move on
that, yeah,
from this.
Never mind.
Yeah.
Other big news, apart from not dying, is Detailing World is no longer your baby.
No, that's very true as well.
Tell us what happened.
We sold it.
Okay, that's good. Now,
No, okay. So let's do the rest. Let's do a little bit more into that. I run Detailing World. I founded Detailing World with Bill back in 2005, and we run it for 15 years. It grew and grew and grew, and it got to the pinnacle of my technical abilities.
what was, just so we can get an idea of the scope, because it was the biggest detailing forum in the world.
It probably is still the biggest detailing forum in the world.
Give us some numbers just so people can kind of, because
wow.
you showed me your analytics, which you've got to say as one word, by the way. Many years ago now, must have been 2015. We were at Newbury in a service station, and we just met randomly in the cafe to do an interview actually for issue 2. And you
Good save.
whipped out your little Dell and fired up analytics, and it was amazing. The figures on there were like hundreds of thousands a day or something ridiculous.
It was like that. There was a million hits or something a month. It was something crazy.
It was bonkers. And so how many registered users did you have at the peak?
I think it was 250,000.
Blimey.
So I call it a big encyclopedia, Detailing World. So, but I got to the end of my ability to be able to look after it. We had a big server failure 5 years or so ago, and it was a very stressful time. It took about 2 weeks to get it back up and running, and I had to get people had to find people to be able to help me get it up and running.
Well, you used to work in IT as well, so is it a matter
But
of...
I wasn't a programmer. I sold things.
Oh, I see.
So
Yeah.
I could have sold you the hard drive, but I didn't know.
Well,
how
not
to-
after you've cooked it, it's gone down.
Yeah, I didn't understand RAID at the time either.
Oh, okay.
And that was the problem.
Oh, you should have talked to me. I could talk to hours about RAID.
But you're not going to, right?
Well, we'll start with JBOD and then we'll go on to 1+0. Yeah. No.
It was on one version of RAID that duplicates the drive, not a version that
Yeah. So mirror.
that mirrored the drives. That's the correct expression. It wasn't. There was a version of RAID that would. So if one of the hard drives gets corrupted, it corrupts the other one.
Yep.
With this version because it's mirrored. So we had 2 hard drives thinking RAID was a backup of what was going on, and actually it was just.
It's not. When you have RAID, you can use. Often you use, say, 4 hard drives. Say you had 400 gig hard drives, just for argument's sake, and you could actually just have one, the capacity of one of those hard drives, but you've got double the speed and double the reliability as a consequence of having all 4. It's very clever, but as you said, let's not go in.
But as a consequence of not understanding RAID, what happened?
It corrupted one drive, which corrupted the other drive, which meant we had to get data recovery at very.
So you nearly lost.
We nearly lost everything
in
for,
Detailing World.
we had some backups, but they weren't complete backups. We found out afterwards.
Yeah, it's always the way. And I'm guessing these hard drives they're server hard drives, so probably SCSI devices.
We had to so we had to go to where the server place was. It wasn't Docklands, it was somewhere else, and we had to go there. Then we had to go to London.
It's UK based, to be honest now.
Yeah. But we got that back, and from then I was like, I always said to Bill, I said, look, I can't do any more. I don't understand, and trying to find someone that did understand the forum software and everything else with it was tricky.
We should have organised evening classes. We could just have so much fun going through all that.
I'm not sure how to answer that. So yeah, then fast forward to last year, we were contacted by a company based out of Vancouver,
Vertical Scope.
and they specialise in forums of all genres. They have a lot of car forums.
Yeah, I did a deep dive on them and writing an article about it in the mag, and it was fascinating stuff.
Lots of forums, but they wanted Detailing World because it tied in with every other forum that they've got. So
Every other forum probably had a backlink to Detailing World somewhere in it.
Yeah, that's true.
How do they? Because they're Vancouver, so that's Canadians.
They have guys based in the UK.
Oh, cool.
Who contacted Bill, and we chatted and talked about what they would do with it and what their plans were,
and how much they give you.
That was one aspect of it.
So I think we looked, and the guy who's running it on behalf of Vertical Scopes had an account with Detailing World for a long time. He's an existing user.
Yeah, Mike's his name. Yeah, he's been on there. He's been on there a while. He founded what are they called? Skyline. Nissan Skyline forum. He's got he had a R34, I think it is. I'm not a Jack car man.
Oh, but an R34 is a Skyline.
Okay, so I was in the right
It's
right
not
place.
the best, it's the most overvalued of them all. But
Okay, well that's what he had.
Yeah.
So the deal was done. They took it over, and that was in the start of October. So,
Well, because I bumped into you at the NEC.
Yeah.
And I was, to be honest, I half expected you to have sort of being patrolled by 4 semi-naked models into a limo and all the rest of it. But you said you were instead buying houses and stuff, instead putting very sensibly into property.
Yeah, I need to do that.
Yeah.
I do need to do that, unfortunately.
Because it was shortly after that course, the video from Guion, where you were the star, came out, and I hadn't seen you got the X5 you turned up in today, which is very smart.
It's very dirty.
It is. It's filthy. It's filthy. But that's what you expect around here, to be fair. It is like basically just farmers and animals in this area. I think we're the only bipeds for about half a mile. And Ian. But the whole gist of it was that, so that's going off separately, but you have now got something else, which you kind of moved the socials from DW over to.
Yeah, Vertical Scope. Vertical Scope were their forum. They're interested in forums. That's all they're interested in. So when we did the deal for them to take the forum over, we did the deal to keep the Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube channel. Matt does videos for us on YouTube. We're going to change that up a bit. And there's probably going to be a video of me and Bill and that sort of thing going on this year.
Fully clothed?
Obviously.
Yep.
To start with.
Yeah, and it's just a teaser.
Subscribers get access to the special channels.
Detailing Space, or the Detailing Space, sorry, on OnlyFans will be opening shortly.
Only Dan's. That's what we're going to do. We're going to set up a Only Dan's page.
Yeah.
So you've got a Dan somewhere in your name, you're in.
I've got Dan in my basement. I've got Dan in the basement. I don't know. I'll ask him if he's still on talking matters.
I keep hearing knocking from upstairs. You sure there's not one upstairs?
No, they're different. That's a different
It's one of Bert's bottom ends.
part of the process. No, but bottom end's all outside.
Damn.
Seabury joke. They
are.
They actually are. Yes. So that is really. Tell us what it is. Because
So sorry, we were talking about we took the socials away. We've had to rename them. We've renamed them the Detailing Space.
Emphasis on the.
Yes, absolutely. Not Detailing Universe or Detailing Space, because that was too close to World.
Yeah.
The Detailing Space. And basically it's 188,000 people on Instagram, all organically grown from the start.
Your social networking skills are unrivaled, because you started YouTube well after we did, and within about, I think it was 3.5 seconds exceeded our subs.
6 people.
Yeah, well, we're at 3.51, and equally with the Insta, everybody presumed that you'd bought them because it shot up so much, but actually,
we hadn't bought any.
Yeah. That's an important thing to point out, because it was mostly from a religious posting, and also thinking outside the box and thinking, actually, people don't want to see you bent over with a wheel brush every other day of the week.
No.
They want to mix it up with some shiny cars and with some other bits from the wider kind of car world, if you like. And it shows that you can build it up without spending money if you just put the effort.
Yeah, it's the effort. As I say, I can't take all the appreciation for
all the credit.
All the credit. There you go. That's the word I was looking for. Thank you. That was Bill does a lot of the social Instagram posting, and Matt does a lot of. Obviously, he's the star in most of the videos.
Well, you need a beard. I mean, that's
it.
That's the conclusion we
my
came
beard's
to.
grey. I'm not growing a beard. I've tried.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. You should try again. It's good. It's brilliant. You get so much space in supermarkets. The criminal record is easier to believe. So, what is the idea of the detailing space? What's the plan with it? Or is it secret?
Yeah,
It's a secret.
Yeah, can we come back to that on another?
Okay, well, hang on one second. We just pause now. Okay, you can tell me now.
Brilliant. It's a continuation on the detailing world theme, but without the encyclopedia behind it.
So if you're an advertiser, you can still get in touch.
We can still do that sort of thing. If you want to do some advertising to a community of detailers, then you can do that sort of thing again. But it's another space. I couldn't walk away completely.
There's going to be sort of space for people to show off their work on there.
We already post. We try to post a lot of on Instagram. We try to post a lot of detailers' work and that sort of thing.
Do you pick those yourselves, or do you just get thousands of messages saying, "Please share this, please share that"?
I get a lot of messages.
Yeah, I'm not talking about those sorts of messages.
No, those sort of messages that you're asking about. Those messages.
Those
the
messages.
ones saying, "Can you share this?"
Gotcha.
Yeah, we do get a lot of those messages.
Loads of fire emojis after everything.
Yeah. I love a good fire emoji.
Can you touch this?
Okay, we're going down that rabbit hole again.
Oh God, yeah, we never left it. So that's an exciting thing, and that's your, that I suppose, because that was only late last year. So 2022, we're going to see things happening in the detailing space.
Yeah, we're gonna have more time. I didn't have the time to be able to get onto the videos, that sort of thing. So I've managed already to jump into one of Matt's videos with Kelly down at KDS.
We saw that.
A bit of Labo Cosmetica.
I didn't see any jumping. I wanted to see some jumping.
They missed that.
Yeah, they edited it out. It's outrageous, because that was the week before that we went down, and then got some videos as well that actually Jay and Co are kindly editing at the moment. So, God knows what's going to come up on that one. The detailing space is with your glamorous sidekick Bill as well.
Absolutely, yeah. Cool. Me and him still doing that, and Matt obviously there doing the YouTube side of it.
Yes, indeed. So that brings us on to Waxstock, which is super exciting because it's been too damn long.
It has.
It really has been too long.
It really has been too
And now
long,
you've brought it out. And this is a big thing, okay? Bear in mind, everybody, the very first Waxstock was 26th of August 2012. And I know that because that's when I launched PVD, the trade association. And the conventionally of late, it has been like the third weekend of July. But you've cranked it up this year, and it is the first weekend of June.
Yes, my wedding anniversary that day. So,
well, present to yourself.
Yep.
Yeah,
that was it.
That's going to go down well. Trust me.
The other two did ask my wife whether she was happy for me to be there on my wedding anniversary, and she was like, "Yeah, it's fine. I'm there too."
Yes, that's fine.
Yeah. Did she use the word whatever? Because I found recently that is not an acceptance.
It's not code for yes.
You've met my wife. She wouldn't need to use the word whatever.
No, it's true.
She would tell you how it is.
Every time I go there, and you know how at Waxstock I try and run around with the camera and get photos of all the different stands. Every single year she spots me. Mm-hmm. Nobody else does. Well, no, most of them do eventually, because I jump up and down and make a noise and ultimately hit them in the face. And but always spots me when I'm trying to take candid photos, not just of her. I'm not like your wife's stalker or anything, but trying to take candid photos, and always then scowls at the camera and the kind of thing. So
she's not a big fan.
Yeah,
she's not a big
we
fan.
need to do something. What we need to do is coordinate so that you can distract her or do something that will make her smile. Yeah. Can you do anything that makes her smile?
Yeah, there's a few things.
Okay, and we can do that on camera.
Yeah.
And look at the photo. Yeah.
Potentially.
Okay. Well, I'm going to take that as a yes. So, 5th of June?
5th of June.
5th of June.
5th of June, a bit earlier this year. The RICO is hosting the Commonwealth Games in July. That's the reason why we can't have those weeks in July. But at the end of July, then.
Commonwealth Power. What? Waxstock's more important than that sort of stuff.
It's also not the RICO Arena.
What do you mean?
It's renamed.
Oh, Bob. What?
It's the Coventry Building Society Arena.
Sorry, I'm sure the marketing department spent a long time on that.
I'm just going to consult my phone.
So they're telling people it's in Coventry now.
That was the glorious thing about RICO, is that most people didn't know about it. Here we go.
Second line down. Coventry.
Oh,
is it still there?
No, it's...
Yeah, Coventry Building Society Arena.
Bloody hell. Okay, well... I don't doubt you. I mean...
It's literally...
Yeah.
It's changed its name.
Terrible. Well, it's great, but it's in the same place.
So we're at the CBSA this year.
It sounds like a convention for photocopier salesmen. Yes, these are sprung.
No.
They are indeed. There's deep vibrations. So that is great news because we don't have to wait as long. It is terrible news because we've got to get the Wax Stock Show Guide and the magazine out in due course well before then.
Normally at this point we've got 5 or 6 months. Now we've got 4 months, I think it is really, because we've got to be ready. We should have tickets ready to be sold and sent out at the start of February.
That's cool because we've still got we kept loyal to it, and we bought the stand and bought all the pre-ordered tickets for mag readers and stuff like that, and we've still got those and all the rest of it.
Everything that everyone bought before since 2020. 2021 will be still valid, and I think Dom sent out emails contacting most. I've got some emails to send contacting the top 16, or the indoor cars we'll call them, not top 16.
Oh, well, I've still got a jiffy bag full of the original wristbands that were going to be used.
I've still got stickets, which were the tickets
that you stick
for the original.
Wow.
Very first
I've got my very first ticket still.
Stick it.
I didn't realise. Well,
because
mine was a trade sticker. Yeah, mine was trade. I think it was different. I've got the wristbands for trade.
Oh, which before the wristbands there, it was stickets. Sticky tickets.
Sticky tickets. I love that phrase. I'm going to have to use that sometime. Stickets. Awesome. So now with Dom, because I've been in contact with Dom briefly. So this is Dom Colback, Mr. Dodo Juice, and Mr. Waxstock, and discussing kind of plans for it. And I remember there was a kind of thing we want to, because of COVID and all the rest of it, we want to do what we know we can do best, so to speak, and just get it sorted and do a proper job. So we'll be having more conversations about stuff because there's a life stage obviously to think about and lots of other fun things that we want to be kind of tied in with. So we'll chat about that behind the scenes.
Okay.
But apart from that, we've also got Clean Chunny. How's it going at Clean Chunny? How did you find that COVID impacted the sales? What was the pattern? Because there were big booms and busts.
It's obviously when it all kicked off and we all got locked down and all the rest of it, our sales skyrocketed for shampoo and quick detailer and
Bog roll.
And we didn't sell bog roll. Should have done.
That would have been a winner.
If I'd found a cheeky supplier,
put the detailing premium on bog roll. It's like buckets.
I wouldn't have had to give sweets. I could have just given a roll each. So that would have worked, wouldn't it?
And some loo paper. That's interesting. And so you had the peak,
but going on from there, it continued, and it's only probably the last 6 months that it's sort of trailed off a bit.
Only back down to pre-COVID.
Yeah,
level,
absolutely.
So.
Yeah, I mean, we've still got all the staff there and everyone. It's not like
you didn't lose
terrible. No, we lost one member of staff. We lost one member of staff. She went and got another job.
Oh, okay.
That's slightly less morbid.
Yeah, I feel less stupid now. I mean, it's still pretty dumb, but
I could take it really serious and say that we're in Unit 1.
Yep.
The Unit 3 that we took over, the reason we got Unit 3 was because someone died in there from COVID. Not in the unit, but...
Is it proven to be COVID, or is it... There's not...
No, he literally was in hospital with the air oxygen on. He went out... He was very careful, this guy. He's 60. He went out for one drink on Christmas Eve.
Oof.
And he got COVID and he died from it, unfortunately.
Because you've wanted that unit for a long time.
Yeah, well, I've the one next door as well. There's 3 and 4. So hopefully this year we'll see us get 4 as well.
There's a slightly accusing tone you had there.
Well, it was the wink he gave me.
That's a twitch, not a wink.
Oh, my bad. But you're going to end up being like Dom. So if you've ever been to Dodo Juice, it's in this industrial estate in Jenkins Drive.
Called Dodo Juice.
CM22 6AT, I think, 5AT, something like that.
Anyway, Dodo Juice estate.
Yeah, Dom owns... Well, they own most of it, and then it's sublet out to various bits and bobs. You're going to be in the same place. You're going to basically own Aldershot and then sublet out.
I think it's a quarter.
Okay.
A quarter that we'll have when we got 3.
So you've got 12 unit, yeah.
When we got 3, there's about 12 there.
That's cool. And so, we're all back to levels now. And where are you... I mean, have you got some big news? We're going to cover, in the second half of the podcast, we are going to cover kind of the fun stuff about being a car care multi-brand reseller / product importer / distributor, because that's kind of cool.
It's easy for you to say.
Yeah, try and fit that on your business card. But yeah, where's it kind of got some big plans for Clean Shiny this year?
Yeah, we're where we've got the 2 units now. We only only completed on the second one in September last year, so we got everything in just before the bad weather's really started. But it's a lot to move 50 brands and 1,800 products with multiple products. That doesn't happen overnight.
Well, you've got about 30 cars as well. You've got to move through. I mean, they're all BMW as well, so you're going to have to jump every single one.
Yeah, I don't need to indicate where I'm putting them, though, do I? But no, I couldn't get any cars in there, which was partly the reason why we needed the
legitimate business expense.
Yeah, that's it. But no, we got into the second one. We sorted out all the racking. We sorted out everything from the first one, and now the first one's having flooring put down in February and lighting and stuff. And we're going to start doing a bit more media stuff in there, and you know, your sort of your entry level, I would say, entry level training. So if you've just bought a Roots machine or a machine polisher in general and you want to know how to use it, come and see me. You know, it's going to be the sort of thing we do in there. We might get some manufacturers in there. I've talked to a few about doing
open days.
Almost a breakfast club.
Oh, okay.
So you know, because obviously detailers are busy during the day. They don't want to give their days up, and at weekends, a lot of detailers have got families, so they don't want to give that. You know, so we said, look, why don't we do early mornings? Why don't we do 7 o'clock and open at 7 for a couple of hours, so that, say, a manufacturer can come in and bring their wares with them and talk to detailers about their products and do a breakfast club.
Oh, those sales reps are going to absolutely love you for saying, right, we're starting a show at 7 in the morning. It'll all be done by 9.
It's not a show. It's breakfast meat. You know, we'll supply the bacon and the rolls and
people can fill up their tanks with water.
Yeah,
you've got a spotless water
not yet.
around you.
I said not yet.
Because you already have shipping container.
I have a shipping container there, but I obviously have. I'll have. If I take the third unit, we'll have something like 16 spaces, so it won't impact as much.
That'd be interesting.
Watch your space.
What flooring you gone for?
What floor? Tough tile.
Okay. You stocking those?
No.
I didn't know if it was going to be an intro to starting stocking flooring now as well.
We're gonna, I mean, flooring. That's going to take up a bit of space, isn't it? So,
well, it depends how big your floor is.
Storing multiple colours of tiles with the amount of tiles we need, it's be quite a lot of space.
Yeah, I can imagine.
So yeah, I don't think. Don't think we'll stock it, but we'll certainly put people in touch with someone that can get them a good price.
Yeah.
But obviously we've got other bits and pieces that go with the flooring
that will work, like stuff that goes on flooring, like trolleys and stuff.
Absolutely.
And bottles of polish and
things with wheels.
Things with wheels. We like things with wheels. Well, on that note, we are going to take a little pause, and we'll be back soon to chat about life as a multi-brand reseller. Pro Detailer issue 14 is now available on the Pro Detailer website at www.prodetailermagazine.com. And we're back, and we are still here with John Hole, and we've been talking about all sorts of exciting things. And in the first half, well, we did indeed cover things like your COVID experience and wax stock and stuff like this. I think we need to get a bit more cerebral for the second half.
Okay, I don't know what that means, but yeah, let's do it. Bring it on.
So what is it like to run a multi-brand reseller? We've got, where you get your products from and where they go to. So you've got suppliers and customers. Now, the market in the olden days used to be you had a manufacturer who would go to a distributor. A distributor would distribute it to various different importers. Importers would then sub-distribute it to sub-distributors who would go to resellers, and then it would go to the customer. That was fun. And in those days, you had lots of people taking a little bit of the pie, but that's how it happened. So you had specialisms, and a distributor was all about logistics. Distributor wasn't expected to do any marketing or anything like that. It's just like we get it to the different people. And now we're in a situation where the role of reseller, you are now not just a reseller, you're an importer, you're a distributor in yourself. So you're going direct to manufacturers, and I've got a count here of 5, which we'll check, where you're an exclusive importer / distributor for the UK.
Yes. Let's talk about 5.
Let's talk about the 5. And so you're basically, all those levels are being cut out. So the question is, if you're a manufacturer, in the olden days, you wouldn't be doing necessarily the promotion, that'd be up to your sales channel. Now you find, so the manufacturers are doing a lot of promotion, but you're also doing a lot of promotion. So how does that kind of relationship work with yourself and these manufacturers? I
think these days you've got, the manufacturers are obviously, when I started out, they were literally selling. They would sell to me, and then I would sell out, and I would do a bit of marketing. They would do a bit of marketing. It was in their interest to do marketing to get their name out there.
Yeah.
And then people will go to them, where can I buy it? You go to Clean and Shiny, you go to the Elite Car Care, and then people will come to us. But we would do our own smaller version of marketing. I think these days you've got a lot of manufacturers that now sell direct because e-commerce websites are a little bit easier to run, a little bit easier to get hold of. There's not so much programming involved. So the manufacturers say, okay, so we can sell direct to the same audience.
Without giving away 30 or 40% of margin.
Indeed. So my competition isn't necessarily another reseller, it's actually the manufacturer.
Yeah.
So we now choose, more so than 15 years ago, choose carefully who we partner with. Because if you've got someone that's just going to be very active in their own advertising, but their own advertising to buy direct, and I've dealt with companies in the last 10 years who wouldn't put me on their website as a reseller because their website sold. So they didn't want to give someone the opportunity to come to me, for example, and buy that brand of products plus something else. They just wanted to get that sale.
And they're always going to win because they're the manufacturer. They've got much more margin to give away. So if it did get into a he said, she said sort of battle, you're going to end up losing it.
I suppose the other thing as well now is that the supply chain, if you like, is much more global.
Exactly.
So especially in this industry, we're bringing a lot in from the likes of Asia, from Malaysia, from Korea, everything. That Korean or Malaysian or, again, wherever they're from, company has got to justify advertising globally. And that's a hell of a budget to try and get.
Yeah.
So obviously it's in their interest to push that down the line a little bit to people who know their own local markets and everything, which weren't such a factor 20 years ago, if you like.
Yeah, and in the olden days, that would have been the distributor's job. But if they're going direct to resellers, it falls on your shoulders.
Yeah, I think you've got brands these days like let's use the Rag Company as a great example. They've got a media team, they've got photographers, videographers.
They put out a lot of content. Yeah,
they put out a lot of content on their microfibers as well as the other brands that they resell / distribute for. It means that we also benefit from that, where they're putting that marketing out because they're more than happy to share that with us. So it's not all go to the ragcompany.com to buy. It can be blank, so it can be go to Clean and Shiny to buy. But then you've got other manufacturers, as we've said, that will go, okay, we know you advertise there, so we're going to advertise there to
you're competing against themselves.
And when I find that you get manufacturers like that, historically I used to ignore it. Now I stop selling their products and let them sell direct, because if that's what a manufacturer wants to do, I'm buying their product. My commitment to a manufacturer is that I'll buy their product, put it in stock, put it on my shelves, and wait. And obviously I'll do some marketing myself, and I've got guys that I pay to produce that marketing, to produce email shots, to produce social media, and also to pick up the phone. You've got guys in my building that can pick up the phone, that you can call, that you can talk to about whatever your issue is.
Well, that's support. And again, first level support is something traditionally you'd have the reseller be offering first level, and then second level you might go to a disty, and then it goes back to the manufacturer if it's really serious. And again, now that's been shortcutted. Again, it's because of the international element. You can't phone up China or Japan or Korea in the middle of the day and ask for advice in English. It's not going to work. So it's kind of two sides of the coin.
But on the other side, as I say, of that, there are some great manufacturers out there who I deal with, who will be forthcoming, saying, we want to do some marketing for you, we want to do some advertising for you, and what do you need? Which is quite refreshing.
It's a brave move, because I can imagine if you put yourself in the position of a manufacturer and you're selling to a reseller and you're spending a lot of money promoting that reseller, and then that reseller says, actually, I'm not going to get your products anymore, I'm going to sell your competition products, but thanks for promoting my business. So there's a risk there. But then equally, you get it with the reseller side, where if you're putting lots of money, and I talked to one guy who ran the country's biggest kind of online reseller for a while, ages ago, and he said, I'm just fed up of putting money into promoting other people's products, because, they were kind of, I'm trying to think of a better word than what's in my head, but they would take advantage of you.
I mean, we went through a stage of, we would advertise products that were available from many, many other resellers, and what we found was that when we pushed those products, we would get a certain percentage of sales. But if we took one of the brands that we have exclusivity to, and we put our time and effort into that brand,
You get 100%
we
of it.
get 100%
Yeah.
back. Because what we were doing was exactly what you're saying. We were advertising, and people would see our advert and they'd think, oh, I buy from here, and I'm going to go and have a look there. Oh yeah, they've got that in stock. I'll buy from them. And it's
Well, you've also got then the bias of manufacturers between resellers, because we have seen some situations where, because somebody's pally with somebody else,
Indeed.
they'll bring people on, and also you get the ones where they bring them on, and then 2 weeks later they'll bring somebody down the road on, and it's always an in. So there's always a kind of a strategy. So it's so refreshing to come across one of those companies that are putting good resources into promoting their products and their partners who are selling the products. And I can see there is this pattern with resellers, with yourself as Clean and Shiny, but with the other ones as well, where they're taking on exclusive deals with brands so that you can control that channel. And for example, with Labo, Labo are a great example because, we work closely with them too.
Yep.
They put a lot of time and effort into making sure that their products are out in front of them. And that's completely independent of you. They're not asking you for the money to do that. At the same time, you're promoting them heavily, and you know that every sale of Labo in this country is going to be coming through you. So it all makes absolute sense.
Yeah, so it's worth us putting the effort in to be able to promote it.
Yeah. And they're also bizarre because they're a long-standing, in this particular case, long-standing Italian company, Mafra underneath, but actually they're completely on point in terms of marketing. You've struggled, we've all seen in the past with struggles with brands that either don't do any advertising or they're an old-looking brand that doesn't have any kind of vigour behind it.
Yep.
Whereas Labo is there's a brainchild, Marco, who wanted, every single product, even their own main brand, has a hashtag before, and he said purely so that it works on social media, so that you can hashtag it.
Exactly.
That's very out of the box thinking,
Yeah, no, absolutely.
And we were talking about the whole promotion thing about age. We were talking about young Jack over at Starnagloss.
Yeah, love Jack.
We're all old sods around here, so we don't know what's hip and trendy among the children. But so you need to find one of these young people, and he's not that young actually. He's nearly 30, I think.
Yeah.
And sort of,
I remember being 30.
Yeah, I don't. Not after the head. Just had too many head injuries since. And it's about finding, being, finger on the pulse.
Yes,
of
absolutely.
what's going. And what's nice about Labo is that they've got that finger on the pulse.
Absolutely.
It's crazy cool. And then with customers as well, the customer environment appears to have changed, and I call it Amazonitis because it reminds me of something that's red and itchy. But because you're used to getting free postage and everything delivered the following day, or in some cases the same day, and it being very clunk-click sort of thing, then you've got what I call an old school, not necessarily old, but old school style online resale. Old school is in the last 5 years, where you order and you pay your postage, and maybe if you spend £100, you might get a cheaper postage or something like that, and then it will arrive in a couple of days. And as a detailer, if you know you've got a coatings job and that you need some coatings for, the idea is that 2 weeks before you book and you pay for those coatings, they come in. Now you have this Amazonitis. Somebody books up on 5 o'clock on a Friday afternoon. You book at you order the coatings at 8 p.m. that night and expect them to be in on a Saturday morning for free. And strange enough, it don't always work like that. I'm guessing this is a familiar story.
In the last week, I had someone order on 3 o'clock, sorry, beg your pardon, 3 o'clock on a Sunday afternoon, and sent us an email at 4 o'clock Monday afternoon saying, I'm extremely disappointed with your company. I ordered yesterday at 3 o'clock, and I've been told that my delivery is not coming until tomorrow. And we had to handle that situation. We get a lot of people that I would say that 70% of our inquiries from our instant chat on the webpage are literally one word, not even hello. Can I have a discount?
Yeah.
Can I have a discount? We get a lot of it all the time, and we don't.
Which is fine if there's a bit of give and take, but it's often a case of, well, I want something, can I have it for less?
Yeah, I mean, we give people, sometimes give people initial discounts. We do offers if you're on our email shop and all that sort of thing. We do offers every few weeks where we'll give a percentage off of a certain product, or we'll give something free with something. Last week we did an email out on Friday, and if you spent £60, you got a free bottle of Stiana-Gloss Bubble. And that was £12. So effectively, if you spend £60, you're getting 20% because you're getting a £12 bottle for free. 2 people.
John Hall maths.
2 people did that. 2 people took it up.
Jesus.
2.
Yeah.
But
But I bet you had 20 people still asking for 20% off.
20% off, yeah. And I don't mind. I try to do promotions. We try to offer. We don't want to be known as, and I won't be known as a discount company. I won't be known as someone that's doing free postage and having to use Hermes, for example, to send it to you. I want to use a reputable delivery company. We use DPD, and we use FedEx if you're international. But DPD. If a truck breaks down, I can't control that.
Yeah.
If a parcel gets to the central hub late and it misses the next trunk, I can't control that either.
Well, we get it also with customers. I mean, when people don't include, for example, a house number on a or a name on a street, and we had one that went out with the automated, with the subscription. So hundreds, we send out over 1,000 mags in a day when that happens, and they come in. And they said, "Oh, it hasn't arrived yet." And I go back to the order. Okay, well, I'm afraid your address didn't have what number on the street? Oh, we're X, Y, and Z number. I was like, well, that's why it hasn't arrived. So stop moaning at me.
We get telephone numbers. So we put telephone numbers on every single delivery.
Yeah.
So if it's Royal Mail, you'll get a text notification. If it's DPD, you'll get a text notification. We'll get some people phone up, and I've had more than 5 in the last 6 or 7 months that have phoned up and complained, saying, "I haven't got my notification. I haven't got anything from anybody. Why haven't I got it?" And you go, "Can I just check your details?" And they go, "Yeah." So you give them the phone number. "No, that's not my number." "Well, that's the number you put into the website." Yeah. "Well, I just put any old number in the website because I didn't want you calling me."
Yeah.
Pardon?
We often get that is that I don't use my number for marketing purposes. Yeah. We don't. There's something called GDPR. There's a law here.
We're trying to tell you when your delivery is coming. But on the flip side, let's do that. On the flip side, I've got an amazing customer base that do pay, that don't quibble with me, that do want the service, and they're the ones that will phone up. They'll spend half an hour on the phone to us asking us questions, and they say, I've talked to a few different companies, and you guys have been you haven't rushed me on the phone, you haven't done this, you haven't done that. I just want you give me straight advice. I just want to. I'll order it now. Yeah, perfect. Thank you very much.
And they're the repeat customers.
And they are. Yeah, they are.
And they're the ones you want at the end of the day. The ones that already know what to expect, that you've got a relationship with, and that it's just a nice, easy transaction every time.
I try to explain to the people that are asking for discounts all the time. I'm saying, look, if you're on our social media page, on Instagram, on Facebook, and if you're on our mail shot, we do a fair amount of promotions, like literally probably 1 or 2 a month, but you need to be on those channels to get the promotions. We don't just give out discount codes. We're not Domino's. I don't go to Amazon. Like you've talked about Amazon. I don't go to Amazon and go, "Have you got a discount code?" Because they won't give me a discount code, and they're Amazon, but they will offer me a service where their thing is you pay more because you're on Amazon, and you'll get it next day, but you're paying for that ability. But people in this industry in particular, I find,
it may well be peculiar to our industry.
It seems that people want the Amazon service, but they don't want to pay anything for it.
It is. It's tricky in Amazon. I mean, we've briefly dallianced with it, and it just didn't make sense to run the amount of money that it costs to run on that side. And it's interesting in other industries, say buying and selling cars, or even buying and selling car care product. You said from the manufacturer point of view, is a rebate, a retrospective rebate, because people find, I'm going to spend hundreds with you this year. I want 25% off, and you know full well they're going to buy a microfiber and never appear again. But if you say, okay, well we've got a system, because you also a pioneer in our industry of individual codes for customers that they can share, and then they end up with a credit account, which I was amazed it might have taken off, but I'm not aware, it's not all over social media. It strikes me as a very sensible way of doing things in terms of organic word of mouth, and also if you have a rebate system saying, well, if you do hit £1,000 this year, which sounds like a big number, but it really isn't, particularly if you're pro or semi-pro.
You buy a polisher and 4 or 5 coatings, you get £1,000.
Exactly. And then say, right, then you get your rebate, rather than doing it the other way around and say, I want 40% off.
But there's always going to be people that will give a discount. There's always companies out there that will do carriage for £2.
That's open market is a difficult one.
As I say, we have, unfortunately, we've got to the point where we do have running costs with our business. We do have staff costs, warehousing costs.
Well, you've got that X50D.
Stop talking about that. 15 years I've been doing this. I thought I could treat myself.
He's had to save £5 a month for the...
Since 1974.
That's it.
It's a fair point.
But as I say, though, what I do want to emphasise is that probably 90, 95, 99% of our customers love the service that we give. And there is just a very small minority that we get a lot of questions to. But what we tend to say now is, look, we've got promotions, and guys, if you're listening, do follow us for promotions. Do subscribe.
I'll give you John's home address. If you go there about 8 a.m, then just follow him onwards from there. It'll be fine.
Not more. We've got enough of those. But yeah, no. In all seriousness, if you're following those channels and you're a guy that likes a bargain
or a girl.
Or a girl.
You will.
Sorry,
yeah.
I was. You didn't give me a chance to finish. That's where you'll find our bargains.
Yeah. And that's the value add. And that's one big thing. People say, oh, well, why don't I just go to manufacturer direct? Well, often, and I've seen this with manufacturers, they're not set up to be distribution. They're not set up to be customer support. And hell, with the background and everything, you're an enthusiast detailer for a very long time, then Detailing World, then Clean and Shiny, then all the rest. So you've got the expertise to be able to do that. And I know that your team are also enthusiast detailers. I mean, one's a Honda enthusiast. That shows a level of dedication.
Got two.
Yeah.
2 Hondas.
That's
one dirty, one very clean. then we've got VW and Audi guys.
Oh yeah, you've got to stay clear of that lot.
It's kind of, we've got Jap and German. There's
JDM's the way forward. And I'm speaking of somebody here with a 21-year-old Audi.
Okay.
Yeah. So that is all around. And in terms of the brands that you bring in, there is some really interesting stuff going on. You seem to focus on doing things differently from others. So you've got Poker Premium, which have been around for a while now, and they've been in people's minds for a while. We've done a lot with the magazine. You very kindly sent us some trolleys and bits and bobs quite a while ago, and we've got those, and they're still going strong. And it's a build quality. They're a Polish company. They seem to listen to feedback. And I think you're responsible for a lot of that feedback. Say, hey, what about doing this? What about doing that?
Yep.
And they revise. So they have a wheel spinny mounty thingy. What's the technical term for the wheel spinny mounty thingy?
A wheel stand.
A wheel stand. There you go. And apparently the original version you could set it at an angle, or you could have it flat.
You could have it flat or an angle.
But the new one, because everybody was saying, oh, it's flat. Well, that's just because the way they'd assembled it. The new one is at an angle, fixed sort of thing. And that sort of thing makes it easier to use and better. And it works on really big wheels as well, doesn't it?
It does, yeah. It goes right up to big wheels now.
Right. You can fit the 22s on.
You can fit the 22s on, yeah.
Yeah, with the 315 tyres. It's ridiculously big. And
Porsche size.
So you've got those, and again, you've got the exclusive deal with those, and they're pioneering. I get the feeling they're bringing new stuff out quite regularly.
Yeah. They're always innovating on what they can do, what they can. I mean, obviously there's everything from your trolleys through to the wheel stands, through to polishing shelves, and through to something that will hold your snow foam lance.
Yeah.
I've got guys that buy a couple, so they have one outside near their garage, so that once they finish their snow foam lance, they hook it on before they take it back in, so it's not just rolling around the floor.
Yeah, and it's nice thick gauge steel and stuff like that. And again, because hardware is always a tricky one from an import point of view, because it's heavy and it takes a lot of space, is that you need somebody who say, right, I'm going to buy 25 grand's worth of kit and I'm going to bring it in and then I'm going to sell it out. Because if you're going there with the kind of 2-bit resellers who I spend £500 with you, it's not going to work.
No, I mean we've got just over a ton arriving in 10 days.
Yeah,
poker, because we are out of stock of quite a lot of it right now, but this is January.
It is January, and it is post-COVID and all the rest of it. So yeah, totally understandable. Speaking of hardware, you've bought in a new brand, again, exclusive distributor, which is Viper spelt wrong. So Viper with a Y rather than an I.
They might argue that that's spelt right.
They can argue. I'll bring along an actual, velociraptor. This is a Viper. Argue with him. He's a king cobra. But they specialise in super high-end. How would you describe high-end workshop
tools, workshop stools,
stools and tools.
Stools and tools.
No, there's a tool and then there's a stool. Yeah,
stools. Let's stick to that. Stools and chairs.
Yeah.
So they're American made. They're American sourced. They're not cheap quality. They're a very good quality. We've literally had one roll from the top of the car park to the bottom with someone on it, and they had to jump off because otherwise they would have literally smashed into the wall. It didn't slow down; it sped up. Which
quality
they
bearings,
weren't
though.
expecting it to
Well,
speed
did
up.
they do physics at school? Because it's all about F equals ma.
They probably maybe
Yeah.
did. I don't know.
Things speed up until they reach a terminal velocity, at which point the forces are balanced. But never mind. So that's an interesting thing, and I've seen the feedback on that. They look bloody cool. Just the way they're engineered, they do look cool.
They look great. They don't fall over on a speck of dust on a workshop floor. That's the other thing. You know, a lot of these stalls that have got small casters, people go to roll them and they end up lying on the floor looking at their stall going, how did that happen? These don't. They're very well made. You won't buy another stall for 10 years minimum, I would say.
So, and again, it's a get what you pay for, because I've seen a lot of
It
feedback.
is.
God, they're expensive. Well, yeah, they are expensive. Like a Rolls Royce is expensive, you know. So
Yeah.
if you can't, justify forking out on that, absolutely fine. But it's just kind of how they're built.
Yeah.
Like £100 stall or five £25 stalls.
Yeah.
You're ahead over time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And we've talked obviously about Labo and Rag Company, who are always fun. Now, they've been around because, as you say, they distribute products in America too. And the guys were over at the last wax stock as well, I seem to remember.
Yeah.
And they kind of pretty much do what they say on the tin. They sell microfibers and
They sell microfibers for obviously all your different jobs, from drying to buffing to glass, all those sort of things, and they test the microfibers well before they bring them in. They've got a microfiber wash that they developed in conjunction with PNS. They're a big PNS distributor in the States.
Yeah. I've got some in my cupboard. Actually. I bought them from you for personal use.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. One's called an Eagle, I think.
That's it. Eagle Edges.
That's the one.
350 or 500 or 600.
I think it's orange, but I don't know.
500.
500. And then we have Workstuff, which again is another manufacturer of equipment. So it's a diversification from just trying to sell shampoos and polishes and stuff.
You can see a theme going on there, can't you?
Yeah, like your equipment and your tools.
Got away from bringing in more liquids and went the other way. The work stuff brushes. We also do. I'll add in. We also do Detail Factory. So Detail Factory brushes are your premium detailing brush that has obviously now been copied by the Chinese, and there's Chinese equivalents out there that when you pull on the brush, they tend to either molt or come apart. These are made a little bit better in America than those. You can tell a proper Detail Factory brush. It's got a little DF on the end.
Yeah, okay. So they've literally copied them.
The Chinese literally copied the exact brush. So there's and bought them in, but like I think you could buy them for £2 or £3 on Alibaba.
Right.
I think John at Forensic Detail did a video on them
And compared the two.
Yeah, saying you could buy these brushes for this money. So that was helpful. But then we've got from the other end of the spectrum.
Yeah.
You know, we've got the work stuff brushes, which come in lots of different sizes, sort of from a very small, I think 16mm up to a 40mm brush. So
Well, have you seen the new Labo brushes?
I have.
They're pretty cool.
They're really engineered, aren't they?
They're properly. He talks. I had Marco talking to me for quite a long time about brushes, but
They're very much like some of the work stuff brushes.
I see. Well, that's a compliment to Work Stuff.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So generally speaking, it's all about finding those little niches within the niche of detailing industry and kind of making sure with your experience now, you know how to do it and the pitfalls, and generally speaking, you don't get caught out anymore by manufacturers playing fast ones or customers pulling wool over eyes and stuff like that. Yeah. And it is interesting how many resellers have come and gone in the time. Certainly we've known each other since 2012, 2013. And in that time I can think of, as in proper resellers, not as in a bloke working out of a garage, there have been a good sort of 3 or 4 decent sized ones that have come and gone, and you've weathered them.
We've tried.
It's all good. I'm trying to think of the originals. Ultimate Finish is still around, obviously.
Yeah, well, the original would have been us, Motor Geek, Serious Performance.
God, that goes back.
And then there was Elite Car Care. Obviously, they started up at about the same time as Clean Your Car, because we helped launch those sites on DW, because that was the only place you could go at the time. There wasn't the socials that there are today. And then the Ultimate Finish, which was 360 before that.
Yes.
And then they were the original Zymol importer.
Yep. That's and Shiner Armour and all that lot.
And then Shiner Armour, for good old Phil.
Polish Bliss.
Polish Bliss, they're still around. The new owner. New owner, but still around.
Still exists.
Yeah, so there's then obviously, as I say, it moved on, and there's there's a lot out there now that I don't even hear. I do searches every now and again on the internet, and I'm like,
Every morning, every evening.
no, not that often. Not that often.
Well, we could reminisce
We could.
for a long time, but we'd bore our listener.
Okay.
So what I'm going to do...
Sorry, Dave.
Yeah, bad luck, Dave. Hope the infection clears up as well, dude. That's the wrong piece of paper. I was about to ask you the same question I asked Matt Yates, so that's probably not appropriate because it's mostly about Scotland.
Yeah, I probably couldn't answer that.
You can buy a cream for it. It's fine.
Yeah. 10 quick-fire questions. Which,
crikey.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't be too worried about this. First one's going to be quite a long one because I know, and we could do a little punt for your 46 if you want, is your current car, in brackets S, close brackets,
My current car, BMW X5.
X5 M50D.
Yeah.
Don't short sell yourself. You turned up here gangster. I thought I was going to be buying cocaine this morning when you turned up.
There still could be a chance. Not from me, though. Not from me. I got a 2 Series as well.
You do? But again, a 2 Series. Oh, Mr. Meek. It's an M2. Is it an M2 competition?
It's an M2 competition, yeah.
Yeah. So there we go. And then you've got an E36?
No, E46.
You've got an E46?
An E46 M3 that if anyone... but it might be
It's a
sold by the
cab.
time this comes out.
It's a cab, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it's got split rim, multi-split
It's got
wheels?
CSL. CSL, genuine CSL wheels.
Oh. It's
Saucy.
I'm not a BMW person, as some regular listeners may have gathered, but
86,000 miles.
I thought I was going to say 86,000
20
pounds.
years old this year.
And
It's low mileage.
And how much are you asking for it?
£17,250.
God, blimey. If you want to blow £17,250
On a
on an BMW floppy top, then John's your man. It is a very pretty floppy top. Also, we're selling the family Forester as well. That's only £2,500 and 4-wheel drive. Not that there's any competition there, but
And it's just got a floppy bottom instead.
no. I've got new springs in my floppy bottom.
Flintstone type car.
No, actually, it's pretty good.
Stamp
rust-wise.
hard enough.
Yeah. I was going to lift it, but then it's easy to get underneath and see. So I thought, no, I'll slam
true,
it
yeah.
instead.
True.
But so your current cars are those. Do you have any? I thought you had something else tucked away.
No, I've got 3 cars.
Did you ever have an E30 M3 or an E36?
No, I just had the E46.
Yeah. What was the first car you detailed? I mean, detailed is a kind of a loose term because we'll be going quite a long way back. Hell, car would be a loose term. I mean.
1984 Ford Escort.
And when was this contemporary? As in 1984, or was it?
I wasn't old enough to drive in 1984.
You don't have to be able to drive to DL car. I see people trying to say their experience starts from when they were 4 years old.
I've seen that as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, impressive. No, that was one that I spent the most time on. I washed lots of things with turtle wax and a bucket and a sponge. 99p sponge. Well, it probably
We all
wasn't that
did it.
days. Probably 10p.
I'm about to say 99p back in the day. That would buy you a 4-course meal.
Yeah.
Well, in parts of the country.
54p a day. Back in the day, used to buy me a litre of fuel.
God, blimey. See, well, you're slightly more chronologically enhanced myself. I remember when I started, first car was a diesel because the insurance was cheaper.
It's probably even cheaper then, wasn't
Yeah,
it? Diesel back then.
No, it was 88p a litre.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, no, it's a 306 HDI.
Shows how much younger you are than me.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was £1.88 for a packet of Benson and Hedges.
You're kidding, 20?
Yeah.
I started, it was £3 something, £3.60.
Yeah.
There were the days. Anyway, what's your dream car? Money, no object.
Money, no object.
Yeah, and you can wear a paper bag if you want a BMW.
No, it's not BMW.
Okay.
It would probably currently be some sort of Lamborghini Huracan.
Ah, Lambo man.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm a Lambo, not a Ferrari man, even though they're smaller inside.
Okay, well, you've just... Oh, no, you haven't messed up one of my next questions. That's fine. So it's cool. That's cool. Well, I do like the Huracan because it comes very low and stuff like that. I'm surprised you're not going for a Murcielago or what's the big one now called?
The Aventador.
The Aventador. And that,
If I could have it, if it was just a general, I'd have an Urus.
an Urus.
Yeah.
Why don't you just buy an Audi Q7 like that?
Because that's not an Urus.
So...
Just ask Yanamize.
No, thank you. Personal question. So, serious face. How many buckets do you use when you're...
How many would you
get rid
like
of the
me
dirt?
to use?
Well, that's a different sort of video, that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. How many would you use if you're not being watched? Well, you don't think you're being watched, obviously. You know, I have drones.
I have a multitude of buckets.
I've seen your bucket collection, actually, but I thought they were mostly for retail.
No.
That was all personal
The ones
use.
we use. The ones we use. Generally, it is 2 to wash with, 1 for wheels. So we're 3. If I'm feeling flamboyant
Mm-hmm.
and I'm doing an X5, it's 2 on one side, 2 on the other, and 1 for wheels.
To be fair, your car is bigger than my house, so I can totally understand
Takes
why
a
you'd be
long
doing
time
that.
to clean that bloody
I
thing.
bet it does. I bet it absolutely does. Does it, because it's got an electric everything, doors, tailgates, all the rest.
Yeah.
Does it squat for you?
No.
Oh. Have you tried asking it? I mean, it's probably voice activated.
I'm going to try in a minute. No, I don't think it does. No.
We've given you the idea. Okay, now this is going to be a contentious one. I think I know which way you're going to go, but I'm not 100% sure whether it's head and heart question this, really. Ceramic or wax? Told you it'd be hard.
And ceramic wax isn't an option. just to clarify this.
And I was just
guess
about to go, what I would do is it would be wax.
Good man. Stuck with the heart. Mm-hmm. Stuck with the heart. Absolutely. What do you use on the car?
Which one?
Never mind. Sorry.
Okay, so
None of my jokes are
yeah, no,
particularly
I got the joke. I was just
Okay.
like, yeah,
Just
I
didn't
was trying to keep it decent.
Ferrari or Porsche? There is no wrong answer.
Porsche.
Interesting. Subaru or Mitsubishi? There is a wrong answer. And you've seen my wood chipper.
Subaru.
Good man.
I had a lot of fun in a Subaru Impreza once.
What was her name?
I don't know. I never asked him her name.
Okay, this one you're going to struggle with because I can see it being politically difficult. But Flex or Rupes? Because you sell both.
Dodo juice.
Oh, okay. Dodo juice. But the question is Flex or Rupes as actual manufacturers of machines, if you see what I mean. I think that's a fair. And you could, I suppose, you could throw a thing in the works and say that you want a Festool.
I just said Dodo juice.
I know you said Dodo juice.
What's the Labo machines? Gladius?
Gladiators.
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 That could bring in a whole new thing of detailing games, couldn't it? That could be something we do at Waxstock.
Claim the fifth. Abstain from answering.
The Fifth Amendment.
Fifth Amendment, yeah.
Yeah.
No, okay, in all seriousness, Rupes.
Brave man. That's cool.
Sorry, Stuart.
Why's your phone going off?
It's an Italian number.
Sticking something underneath your car. What would be your dream car to detail in all the world? And now, some people have had some quite clever answers to this. I don't know if we're going to enjoy
Some
it.
also haven't, though, so don't
Yeah.
feel pressure.
I don't have a dream car to detail. I think that I think I would prefer to detail something more normal than something not normal, just because of the intricacies of it.
Yeah, I hear you.
Depending
And
on
the risks,
I guess it would. Yeah, and it.
It'd be
there'd
scary.
a few variables for me.
If I was on a Subaru Legacy S0402, I would be shaking like this. Whereas if I was doing an Evo Tommy Mackinnon, I'd just like, yeah, whatever, sponge, gravel.
If you were doing a 911, but then doing a Koenigsegg, I'd rather do 5 911s.
Yes. Oh, well, the Koenigsegg has got so many different materials and intricate bits.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
I quite like that. Get my little cotton buds out. I do. I like engine bays and switches that get me up in the morning.
I like interiors.
Well, that and some
Most
drugs.
people don't like interiors.
Yeah, no, I like them within reason.
Because
Obviously.
right now, this time of year, that's what I see. I try not to look at the outside. It's shocking, especially around here.
You can't win, really, can you, on the outside at the moment? So, final question. And Ian and I were discussing this prior to Mike's on, and we thought you might be the first to answer differently from everybody else. Sunday drive or a Sunday detail?
I would.
Put your tongue away.
I would put my tongue away. I would go for a Sunday drive,
Oh, you're going to want to do both, aren't you?
and then I'd detail it before I put it away.
Okay.
Because I'm fortunate, 40 minutes away is Goodwood, so I'd do a drive to Goodwood, have some breakfast,
Yeah.
get back in the car.
So that'd be
drive
what,
back.
2-3 hours?
Yeah, a couple of 3 hours, and then I'll be
And
back.
you get more than 2 or 3 hours a Sunday to yourself. You're allowed that much time off.
I've got an amazing wife.
Well, absolutely, clearly. Yeah, indeed. Well, on that bombshell, we are going to end. But thank you very much, John, for venturing all the way to Westshire.
Is that where I am?
You are in Westshire. We
Followed ways.
we keep it vague. Just
If you carry on down the M4, there's a mountain with an eye on top of it that starts staring at you, so go the other way.
If I keep going down the M4, I should have bought my bike. because I can be at Bike Park Wales.
Oh yes, well, because I talked to Mr. Young Kelly Harris and Mr. Young Jim White, and you all went off to Wales and
We all
rode
went off
hard
to
down
Wales,
hills.
and they laughed at me because I am not as fearless as them.
Okay.
Yeah, there was some things that I was.
You have
You're not down with.
you have greater self-preservation instincts.
I think so. Those two are lunatics. The pair of them.
How long you can sit in a car park in the woods and in the dark and not lock it? That's the brave thing.
What are you talking about?
Battery bikes.
Yeah. But listen, thank you very much for getting me down.
Oh,
it's been a long
pleasure.
time coming. I've enjoyed it.
I had a fight getting you down here.
It's been,
first series, a message.
It's
to
been
the
great.
series.
Yeah. I apologise about the photos that Bert's got of me already.
They're only the
If
beginning.
they're not complimentary.
Oh no! As I said, it's a very reasonable rate for Photoshop work.
Okay.
I can give you breasts. I can take years off you. I can change your ethnicity. I can do anything you want.
Wow.
Yeah.
Don't know what to say.
Cash or check.
I think the best thing to say would be goodbye.
Bye. Yeah.
All right. See you later, everyone. Thank you very much for listening.